Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to a new video here on Ethereum. We're going to do a full update on what happened over the course of the last 3 days, I think. I think the last time I covered Ethereum was on Wednesday or Thursday. Back then, I was still slightly more positive. Back then, the markets also looked much better and healthier. But unfortunately, that changed, and that mainly has to do, or at least it seems like it mainly has to do with the fundamentals. Especially towards the later part of last week, a lot of fear got into the financial markets, and you can already see that with the S&P 500. I mean, the S&P 500 not only filled the gap to the downside, but no, it dropped down much lower with a lot of volume again, which reminds us of the price action we had late February. And the beginning of March, all right, with all the tariff news, and then last week we also had tariff news, and just in general. The fear for this upcoming week sparked back up. The volatility on index also went up, as we also saw back then. So just in general, the entire same playbook started to unfold, and that forced Ethereum back down its most important key level it broke above, around 1950, which is unfortunate, but that's sometimes what happens. All right. I took a trade on Ethereum earlier in the middle of March right here, but ultimately I did not really do that much with that, and after that also not. You can also see, if you take a look at ETH BTC, unfortunately that also hasn't been able to hold the bullish development we had over the course of the last 2 weeks. So that's unfortunate. This is also in a downtrend again. So the thing is, and the main thing you need to know is that it seems like the old pattern of Ethereum of underperforming Bitcoin and just in general being quite weak has started again, or at least is unfolding again. So that's good to know. But let's talk about Ethereum right now, because I mean, if we talk about the price, we're practically back at the same levels as we were in the middle of March. All right, between our main support level at 1800, which is a high time frame support level, as you can see here as well. 1800 is quite high in liquidity. And just in general, this level between 1950 and 1800 is quite high in liquidity historically, but that was also the range we were in before we broke out and reclaimed back into it. So the big question is well, can we actually hold this range, right? Because what we do not want to have is a drop down into our next major liquidity zone and a naked POC, point of control, around this level at 1600. All right, you can see the consolidation we had 2022, 2023. The POC there was this level at 1650. You can see we broke out of that range. We never touched it, so that's a naked POC, which acts a bit of a magnet. And that's also like that would still from the current price, that would be a drop of about 13-12%, which is a lot. All right, so the big question is well, will we do that, or can we actually hold this consolidation, or can we potentially break out? And the honest answer is that it fully depends on the fundamentals. All right, it fully depends on the development of, well, some other geopolitical themes as well, but mainly that trade war topic. All right, will we see an escalation? Will we see a de-escalation? What will it do to the economy? Because at this point of time, if I'm being completely honest, look, there's quite a lot of imbalances technically to the upside for Ethereum. So I would say short term, it's most likely we will stay in the range and we will actually test the top of the range here, so that we can actually have some strength here as well. So that's pretty good short term, but if I would have to tell you that we're either going to get a bullish breakout or a bearish breakdown, I would say it's the bearish breakdown, but that is fully because of the uncertainty. All right, once the uncertainty goes away, we have a little bit more of an idea of where the price is going. But for now, like I said, short term, I think it's most likely that we will not only stay in the range, but that we can also have some upsides. I see no reason at this point of time, technically nor fundamentally, to get a bullish breakout. If I do, I'll be the first to tell you. So therefore, I do think you need to be prepared for that breakdown. And you can go back in time and look at some of the other moves we had when there were tariff talks, such as right here, the 3rd of February. Look at moves like that, and you know what's possible. All right, so be prepared for that. But for now, ultimately, I think that's what you need to know. All right, so thank you for watching. Have a great Sunday. Take care, and bye.